Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Didikanku with your host, David. Today we have a very special guest. It's my pleasure to introduce a successful entrepreneur and a certified coach, Mr. Joshua Sutanto. Hi, Joshua.
Hey,
Welcome.
David, how are you?
Very good. Thank you. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure to have you.
Yes, thank you very much for having me here. I'm privileged to have to meet with you in this podcast. We have been planning for this since a few months ago. Yeah.
We have, yes. And well, unfortunately, I had to have a little surgery uh,
Yeah.
when we were scheduled to do the podcast, but it's great to have you now. It's an honor to have you. So, Joshua, can you tell us a little bit about your background for some of the audience and listeners who aren't so familiar with you? Tell us a bit about your entrepreneurial journey and what kind of businesses you've started.
Okay. So, hi everyone. I just rebrand myself to being named Joshua Tan. So some of you
Ah,
will see my social media Joshua Tan, and it's joshuatan.id, the website. But you can still call me Joshua Sutanto. That's my like legal name. So
okay.
yeah, I used to be an introvert, if you can say. I used to be. I cannot talk. I cannot say a word in a podcast like this, even in English. So I used to be an introvert. When everyone is playing, I'm studying. See, when everyone is,
Mm,
playing with girls and come and go, and I just study. And in school we used to have extracurricular. You know that.
mhm.
And do you guess what did I take?
For your extracurriculars,
Yeah.
I think it would be something that you do alone. Maybe
Uh,
computers.
yeah, I can even believe that I took that. It's chess. Well, nothing wrong with chess anyway, but
Yeah.
everybody's getting volleyball, basketball, and getting girls around him and everything else. You know, uh, chess,
Wow.
choir, choir,
Choir.
and
Okay.
choir. Yeah, nothing wrong with choir, but it's something, for introvert stuff. And you know what? This is I can't believe typing. Typing with
Typing.
the old
Wow.
old typewriter, like A S S D D F. So
I'm surprised that they still have that as an extracurricular.
back like 300 years ago when I was still young,
Right.
and you were too.
Right.
So yeah, I used to be an introvert. I cannot talk. Even I didn't know that some girls are liking me. So that bad. And when I work start to my I start my work, I start to be an accountant. So my background is accounting and
Wow.
accounting. That's why I worked in a tax accountant in Australia. I spent almost 10 years there,
Okay.
and working in consultants. I help many businesses while I'm working, as well as I work as well as an accounting software. So it's a system consultant.
Mm.
So from there, I got back to Indonesia. I wanted to start business, but I know that in Indonesia business is not that simple. So I was thinking, oh, okay, let's just work first, and in a company. So I work with an MTech group, SCTV, SCTV, MTech. Now MTech owns Bukalapak and BlackBerry and stuff.
Okay.
But at that time it was Next Media. I was the founding team there, and then I was like the fifth person there, or like fourth. So like
Mhm.
I'm doing anything. So what I called it chapchai manager.
What
Chapchai.
what does that mean? Like
Chapchai is like everything else is there. It's the mixed vegetable.
so basically you did everything in the
I did
company,
everything. Yeah.
not just accounting, but
No.
management,
Yeah. Yeah.
marketing.
Well, because thanks to Pak Fofo Sariat Maja at that time. he asked me to you just join us and help me in building this new company, new business, pay TV. It's a pay TV. So
Mm.
that was my job desk. You don't have job desk. You just help me. Okay, that's good. I can learn from someone, a big businessman at that time.
Wow.
So my title is just business development manager. So yeah, I just develop the business from
Right.
getting the permit, licensing, setting router, getting into, we are at a BNI tower, the 51st floor of BNI tower. At that time, it was the highest in the Jakarta.
Mm.
So I got there and up to setting transmitter for the
Wow.
TV trial, including making financial planning and everything else between. So it's called chapchai manager. Chapchai is a mixed vegetable. So if I can say, yeah, I do everything. But I'm very grateful that I did that. It was a unique experience. But that's what's important for an entrepreneur, because you do everything. Because an entrepreneur would do anything, right? That's
Right.
why people call it CEO.
Mm.
Now, I don't like to be a CEO. That's why in my title, I call myself a founder of Lightrees Group, founder and CXC, CXC, Chief
What's
Entrepreneur Coach.
mm.
So I want
Wow.
to be the coach of everyone, not just officer.
Right.
And because CEO stands for Chief Everything Officer. Because he does
Right.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, I did that. I did everything by myself, except one for my. I just have one employee at that time, and he just helped me with the database stuff. At that time, my first business was in a system implementation. So we do software implementation. I'm cooperating with my previous boss in Australia. So we bring the branch in Indonesia. Yeah. So from there, in 2015, I joined a business coaching company, Gratio, it's called, with Coach Johannes G. Pauli. At that time, it transformed me from being like just an introvert, accounting and IT background, doing stuff, and I was trained to being a coach, like a trainer, coach, and everything else. So I changed myself. I have never had any sales, marketing, or coaching experience before. Like I just help. I just like to teach people. I like to teach music,
Okay.
teach English, teach software. I used to be that software trainer,
Mm.
and it transformed me until I can help many businesses in many industries, from small to big, trillions of rupiah to like zero or even minus rupiah in their business. And it was a great experience for me, and I learned a lot.
I'm
Now,
sure. I'm sure. Wow.
yeah, and now I have several businesses
Hmm.
and under Lightrees Group. So I created this group, Lightrees. It's the trees of light. So
Mm.
Lightrees. We have four main businesses. One is Expreneur, which is in business expert service. I'll
Hmm.
explain later. And then we have Fit and Group, Fit and Property. That's including Fit and Co Space. So that's a
Oh.
property. I started that as well from 2010 when I started the business. And then we have Light Tech, which is the technology side. I used to be
Mm.
integral Indonesia in part of from Australia. Now
Okay.
we stand alone. And the last one was Starius Group, which is more to the accommodation, F&B stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I mean, you've had such a long journey there when you go back. And you mentioned like when you started out, you were introverted. And you actually took some very strange extracurriculars. I mean, typing. I don't think a lot of people go, I want to learn typing as an
Yeah, yeah.
extracurricular.
But I don't regret. Now I can type
No.
like very fast. Like I can do. And then, what are you doing? I'm typing.
Wow.
I thought you like, I can type like very fast.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure. So everything that you've kind of done has led up to helping you now where you are now. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, never regret anything. I used to be that, but even some people is still like that, nothing
Right.
wrong with it. You can always be introvert the whole your life. But what I can say is you can change yourself.
Mm.
I used to
So,
be I used to be that, and then now I'm
yeah.
this.
Well, I
No,
wanted to ask you on that part. So, was that a conscious decision for you to make? Like you felt, oh, I'm introverted. I need to be more extroverted. And did you make that conscious decision to do something about it, or did it just kind of happen?
a bit of both. A bit of both. Like maybe the I share this on my YouTube, in Indonesian. Some you can search about how I can. I used to not like something, but
Mhm.
I turn out to be liking that. Sometimes like um, when I was a little kid, I don't like apple. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe because the witch is holding apple to Snow White, or I don't know what, whatever. so, uh, so I just don't like apple. But I think I cannot. There's something in me that's saying that I cannot be that loser. You see, I cannot be that loser. You don't like apple, you see, apple is good. So I try to like apple until now. I like apple very much. I used to hate what's called ginger.
Mm.
Maybe you still hate ginger. Now
No,
I can
I've
enjoy.
always liked ginger.
Yeah, you always like ginger. Okay. For little kids, from a little kid, no one likes ginger. You see, that's
Mm.
like stuff like that. So
I,
um ginger, now I can enjoy like ginger tea and everything else. Now I used to hate what is called finance, stock exchange. I hate that very much. Sales, marketing. No, no, no. That's like, some people say it's bullshit. So yeah.
but
But
what did you hate about it exactly? Like apples and ginger, that's something that I think comes with I don't know, it's like age. For example, I hated
mm,
vegetables when I was young. All vegetables, but now I eat vegetables because I know it's good for
okay.
me and I enjoy
Yeah.
vegetables,
Yeah.
right? But things like finance, marketing, those are things that are a bit harder. It's not like we grow up and we realize, oh, this is actually important, right?
Mm.
But what did you actually hate about it when you were in the beginning?
That's a good question. That led me to a conclusion, where how can I hate something? How can some people now I met, they hate, or not even, sometimes they hate, or they are afraid of cats, they are
Right.
afraid of clowns, they are
Mm.
afraid of some of them chicken. Say, you said chicken. If you ask them, and you can ask me now, if I can say why I hate them, because I failed, maybe that
Mm.
like the first time I saw like how to calculate NPV in finance 101.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is not for me, it's just too hard.
Right.
I failed algebra. I still remember when I was SMP, maybe like grade 7, yeah, that time. Yeah,
Mhm.
I felt like 3 out of 10. So I said, no, algebra is not for me. So maybe in business, I can say, draw a conclusion. Maybe in our lives or in business, we had that. We
Right.
fail, and then we
Right.
make a conclusion. It's not for me.
Right.
I
There,
failed.
there, there's that fear that comes from failing the first time, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe the first time I ate apple, it felt something, that time. It's
It
a bit,
reminded you of the witch in Snow White.
no, not exactly, but I'm just exaggerating.
I know.
Not exactly, but it feels like, uh I cannot say a word, but it feels not good at that time.
Right, right,
So it makes people like that. That's why some people don't like vegetable.
right.
It's a bit bittery, and
Mm.
that. Yeah. Mm.
Well, I think, for example, for me, one reason why I like vegetables now is you realize you have to take care of your health. And if you don't
Yeah.
eat vegetables,
Yeah.
then you're
uh,
not going to be very healthy. And so
yeah.
it's not so much I like vegetables, it's I know I have to like them. And maybe that's the same for you with finances and marketing. If you're going to run a business, you have to know the finances of your business. You have to know how to market your business. Do you think that's related?
Yeah. When we are in it, and we feel that, wow, I need this. I said that I hate finance and stock exchange, right? But I ended up in 2007. I was into that stock trading. Even I trade options, forex and everything else with calls and puts and everything else. So
Right.
I was into it, and I like it very much at that time until I lost it all. And then another conclusion, it's not for me again. But when I grew up, until this time, I feel that nothing is actually bad or good.
Right.
you know so everything is according to your experience, according
Mm.
to what people say to you, according to how you feel about it, how the news is telling you.
Right, right.
Right.
I think
So,
that's very true. Like you do something and when you fail, it kind of puts you back and it puts you in a mindset like if I try again, maybe I'll fail. But it seems like you overcame that and you said, I failed, but I learned from something. It's not a bad thing that well, like you said, you lost a lot maybe, but in the end you also gained a lot.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
what made you start Lightree, and what was you said now there's four different parts of the business. There's technology, and there's three others. You'll have to repeat them. But
Yeah.
what got you to start this by yourself? What made
Okay.
you have that courage to go out and start your own business?
Yeah. So there's a story behind it. Like there's a connection. It's not just like, I want to start selling clothing. Not
Right.
like that. So first business I was getting is because I keep in good contact with my boss, previous ex-boss in Australia. And then we talk a lot how we expand to Indonesia. So we do integral in Asia Pacific. So
Mhm.
integral Australia, we bring it to Asia Pacific. So okay, let's do that. And then we had a big clients from there. We helped to systemize one of the biggest helmet manufacturer. If you know
Mm.
INK, MDS, it's Indonesian.
I
So
think I've heard of them.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you use motorcycle, that's a big market share. And also
Yeah.
Honda and um, holding company of Freeport. I didn't know that's his holding company of Freeport. So it's called a PT, and then I found out that it's the holding company of Freeport in Papua. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
yeah, after a few years learning, and do try with my partner in Australia, um, it's growing. It's growing. Oh, by the way, when I started, thanks to also my guru is Tung Desem Waringin. Tung Desem Waringin. So I learned a lot from him.
Mm.
And I also started property. So the first business that I started is actually it's almost at the same time. So I own I I managed to buy a 1.4 billion rupiah house
Hmm.
without my own money. So I
Mm.
just I just practice what my teacher said. So it
Right.
works. It works. So a power of actions. So I just action, and I managed to do that. So that's my first business to
I
own
I think
an
that's an
accommodation.
interesting story right there. How did you do that?
That's another 2 hours we can say. We can make
We'll
another
go into that
webinar.
later.
Yeah. So basically, I bought it in 2010
Right.
for 1.4 billion without my own money.
Mhm.
So it's using leverage with bank,
Right.
and then I sold it in 2 years for 2.4.
Wow. I mean, that's a very good, I won't say return of investment because you
Yeah,
didn't invest anything. Well, you
yeah.
invested your time, I guess.
I fancy that. No, at the end of time, I calculated. Sometimes I put in money. Sometimes I got extra. So I
Mhm.
calculated everything. It's 20 million, 20 juta rupiah,
Okay.
for maintaining
The
the
property.
property, the house. So that's my first business, property. So when I started business, I always these two. So property and technology. So I do system implementation and then property. Why I chose property, because from my mentors told me that whatever business or whatever you do, property needs to be on site on your side,
Right.
because it's always go up, it always goes up, it always goes up, never goes down until except you have uh, I don't know, what do you call that, earthquake or something, and it goes down. So it goes up, and it's true. I start with nothing. I really start with nothing. My parents is just lending me a ruko, and I'm taking a loan from it. So I'm starting with the loan from the bank,
Right.
and I managed to multiply my asset like maybe 30 times. Oh, not even. Well, I'll start with nothing, so we cannot calculate the multiplication. So, but I can multiply into, like, uh yeah, big assets.
Right.
Yeah. So property is going, and then I also start with system. Back to your question, how did I start this? Well, that's the start. And then I joined the business coaching company. So that's another feat. People said you're not focused. I said I'm diversifying. When I see, well, I'm focused in one each one of them. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't regret I made that decision to join as a business coach at that time.
Mhm.
Um, and if people will say, like, look at your even your business, your own business is not that good, how can you teach people? You see, how can you coach people? I don't care about that. So, because I know that if I can learn something, I can help others, I'm learning as well. And that's
Right.
true.
Right.
I'm a coach. Well, I teach people, and I'm also a I
Right.
own a business. So I'm a coach that moved from an entrepreneur. So I started from entrepreneur, and then I moved to coach. But guess
Right.
what? People said, why don't you just be one? Focus on coaching or focus on your entrepreneur. No, I don't want to. That's
Right.
why I said, because when I coach people, I can say that, hey, Pak, I know it's hard. Ngomong itu gampang gitu kan.
Mm.
Like, just talking like this, just, in this session, I talk to you like this, giving you
Right.
advice. It's very easy.
Right.
It's very
Anyone,
easy.
well, you
Anyone
can
can do
say
it.
anyone can do it,
Yeah,
yes.
anyone can do it. You
But
just
not
take
everyone
thoughts.
can do it well.
But I say, doing it is much, much more difficult. I've
Absolutely.
been there, Pak, Bu. You see, I have a business myself,
Right.
and doing this is not that hard. You need to do it yourself. So I can be like, a mix of mentor.
Right.
So I've been there. I've do it, and I can be a better coach because
Right.
I do it.
And they say the best way to learn is to teach. Do you
Yes.
do you find
Yeah,
there's a
I just
truth to
about to say that.
that?
The best way to learn is to teach. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So that's
and
one.
and and of course in your case you're actually doing it, so
Yeah,
you're actually learning from experience, but you're also helping people learn through your experience, which
yeah,
gives you more experience, right?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And the framework are very good that we are coaching our clients. The framework is very good, but applying it to our real situations, all frameworks are good.
Right.
Frameworks are made from or people say theory. I said framework was made from experience as well.
Mm.
Michael Porter, how can he make 4P? Well, he's from experience, from marketing experience, right? And
Right.
so when I practice it, I implement it in my business. um, I found some failures. I found
Mm.
some it's not that easy just saying like that. So I made it some adjustments and improvements to it, and when I share that to my clients, they feel, oh, it's quite practical, you see.
Wow.
And the other way around, so that conclusion is I can be a good coach, a good teacher by also practicing it on my business.
Right.
And the other thing, the other side, I can be a better entrepreneur. I can
Mm.
be a better business owner because when I teach, I remind myself. I
Mm.
keep reminding myself, you see.
Right.
And also because I teach and I learn from many businesses, when I practice into my business, it's much better than, just not teaching. See? Yeah.
Right. Wow. Wow. So you're actually getting a lot of on the, I guess, in the field training. I wouldn't say on the job, but kind of on the job. You're doing it, you're getting your hands dirty. But you're also sharing that and you're also learning from the people you're coaching, the people you're teaching, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so you're doing a bit of experience sharing as well. So what do you focus on now, Joshua?
Now,
What's
yeah. If I can continue a bit from there,
Sure, sure.
how can I do fit and co space? So because I do business coaching
Hmm.
and I'm doing my business, I have to systemize my business because I'm doing part time.
Right.
That's why I implemented some systemization process into my business, and I managed to make it like only I can just be there only 2 days a week.
Mm.
So it's running autopilot. It's running
Right.
on itself.
So you automated it by implementing systems to make sure you can
Yes.
manage it from wherever you are and
Yes.
make sure everything's running smoothly.
Yeah. Then the business grows from 2, 3, 4 employees, 5, and then 6.
Mm.
At that time, we were having a small office, and we need to move. Now, when we move, we feel that we just want to share the office with someone. So I search in Google, ruko setengah lantai, half floor ruko, yeah.
Right.
Uh, and I cannot find it. So after a few while, I managed to have my family's ruko, so we use that, and I use only one, even half a floor,
Mm.
so we're making this fit and co space at that time.
Okay.
We renovate the others and rent in a small part,
Right.
and I cooperate with my teacher, Ferry Reviandi.
Mm.
He's teaching the how to make a working space, and
Mm.
now we are building Fit and Co space as the office operator.
Wow.
So that's how can the second business, the Fit and Co space, is coming
Wow.
from my experience. Now I have two now, yeah, property
Right.
side and the IT side. Now I felt this is to answer your question. How can Lightrees Group came?
Mm-hmm.
I felt that how why do I have to have um, a finance guy, a finance staff in each of them. See, and then
Right.
why do I have to have a marketing staff in from property and for the technology and
Mhm.
for others? So in short, I moved those to a holding company.
Okay.
It's called
Wow.
Lightrees Group. So everyone now in my company, in my group, is sitting on the Lightrees Group. So marketing for Lightrees Group, they go on to do the others. The money, the finance accounting stuff is doing others. I found that a much more uh, focus.
Mm.
Instead of focusing on one division of business, they
Right.
can be focused on their expertise. That's why we called it expreneur.
Right. And it also helps your team to understand each part of the business under Lightrees Group, right?
Yeah,
So it stemmed out from what I'm hearing, it stemmed out from you thinking, how can this be more efficient? But actually it turned into not just for efficiency, but for your team to also be able to know the different businesses
yeah,
underneath Lightrees Group. Wow.
yes, that's right. And that creates me another division which is called expreneur.
Hmm.
I used to do coaching, right? I used to
Right.
do business coaching. I'm trained to be Superman. I can do marketing, sales, operation system, human capital, money, everything else. See? Well, entrepreneur needs to be like that. A CEO, you need to
Right.
cover everything. An MBA, see? MBA needs to cover everything. But I have a different approach. My approach is to focus on one expertise.
Hmm.
That's why it's called Xpreneur. I'm inspired by X-Men or Avengers. It's called X. Uh, so in X-Men, Professor Xavier recruited Wolverine and don't need to teach him to fly,
Right.
right? Magneto can fly from magnets. Storm can fly. You don't need to get you to get them to fly
Hmm.
and others. So I felt that if you're good in speaking, then focus in speaking type of job. Don't
Hmm.
bother in don't bother in learning about how to count.
So
Hitung-hitung
kind
calculations.
kind of like everyone has their own ability and everyone should focus on what their ability is. Is that right?
Yeah, and I got this from my team. So when I asked my team, what makes you happier in working here? So if I can focus on one thing, what one thing do
Right.
you want? At that time,
Wow.
she's an accounting staff, so I don't need to do marketing, and I don't like speaking to people. So what do you want to do? If you can just give me calculation stuff every day, I can do it better. Okay. So
Okay.
that makes focus, right? That's why all agency, like we have marketing agency, we have tax consultants,
Right.
we have whatever recruitment consultants. What they do is every day they're recruits, they're recruiting, they're
Right.
every day they're counting, they're calculating. So I did that in Lightrees Group, and that creates Expreneur, in which I'm focusing right now.
Mhm.
Expreneur is it's a community of experts
Mm.
where they go together like in X-Men, and we
Mhm.
help each other. Where the salespeople who cannot calculate, it's not good in calculating things and administrative tasks.
Right.
You can just keep talking to people
Just keep
every day.
selling.
Just keep selling, keep talking,
Right.
keep keep doing whatever you like,
And
and
you say this is a community, so
yeah,
you work together with other experts, is that right?
yes,
You don't
yes,
actually employ them, but you work together with them, is that right?
yeah, yeah, just like how Professor Xavier recruits Wolverine.
Right, right.
so we work together for our together I mean, for togetherness, for our
For the
benefits
for the benefit of the
of
community, right?
everyone. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
And currently, so this is just like a food court. You see, in
Yeah.
a food court you have multiple food, and currently I'm focusing on business automation. So I'm one of them, which is operating system. We help um, we help businesses in automating the business,
Mhm.
delegating the task, cloning the leaders, cloning the owners into the system, so they can run without having being always being there.
Mm. Wow. So basically what you're doing is helping businesses that are starting up or that are already established and helping them to be more efficient, have better leadership, better management, and be more automated. Kind of like what you've done for your business.
Yeah, I did that in 2017, 16,
Okay.
17, 18, when I was doing business coaching.
Right.
I'm doing part-time, so the other part-time I'm growing my business, and it's growing.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And what tips could you give someone, like, or what advice could you give someone, or maybe not advice, but if someone was to engage with your services, what would they get from you? Like what would you do first? What would you look at first in a business?
What I'd look first in the business?
Well, if someone engaged with you, what would be the
Okay.
first step in the process?
Oh, the first step is we're gonna do a business checkup, because
Mm,
so expert we have general practitioner like Dr. Umum. See,
right, right,
if you have some problem with your business, you can talk to the general practitioner,
right.
and this Dr. Umum will refer you to the specialist, doctor specialist. Oh, you need
Okay.
marketing. We have experts in marketing. Oh, you need human capital. We call it power team.
Right.
You have power team booster expert, and we have
Mm,
some other experts in entrepreneur community and entrepreneur agency, and they are ready to help you with done for you. So
right.
they can be a coach, they can be an entrepreneur, they can be a consultant, they can be an expert, or agency, and they are helping you with done for you service, not just coaching. Oh, well, always uh, advising and coaching will always be involved, but
Right.
not just that, but doing it for you. For
Mm,
example, for my field, which is business automation, um, so we will analyze their time log. uh, People come to me and say, how can I spend like 7 days in my business? I cannot leave it. This is a real story.
yes,
So
I'm sure.
7 days, imagine 7 days a week, like every day, and almost like 10 to 12 hours a day.
Right.
When you go to mall, I never go to mall. Last time we had a holiday was like last Idul Fitri, Lebaran. When
Wow.
Lebaran ya tutup gitu kan, every is closed. So I we help people, not just like selling something, but we are changing someone's life.
Right.
At that time, I helped this guy from this entrepreneur in Bandung. We created that system, and finally, after the service is over, he said, okay, he can do it himself. All right. And after a year, I went there and say hi. And how's your business? Oh, it's good now. I only came like 2-3 days a week.
Wow.
Ooh. Um, and then my revenue doubled,
Mm,
and even he's planning to open a new branch.
wow.
So time and energy goes down,
Right.
but money goes up.
Right. Profitability and
Profitability.
productivity goes up.
Yeah.
even though and what is the main thing there? Is it technology? When you say like you're implementing systems, when you're helping people with these, for example, that client that you had who was working 7 days a week in the beginning, not taking holidays, basically his life was his business. How did you change that? Was it changing the mindset, or implementing the right systems, having the right technology, or was it a combination of all of
Yeah, you know the answer. It's combination.
that?
Some people already have a right mindset.
Right.
Came to me like, no, I know I cannot be like this. Please help us. Please help me. So that's the right mindset. But some people came to us. It's just like, how can I be autopilot? How can I live this business? Everything is on me. You see,
Right.
um, I cannot. I have to do it like I have to do this on my own, like until I die. So that we need to change the mindset. That's
Right.
why coaching comes into it. That's why when I
Mm,
was the business coach, we coach people, and they're doing the actions that are strategic, and
right.
and they have and they have results. But the difference, the problem with just coaching, so coaching is very important in the beginning because you need to change the mindset, you need to challenge people. But
Right.
after that, they don't know how to
They don't
um,
know what's the next step is from
yeah,
there.
what's the next step? They know how to do it. We advise them. Okay,
Right.
Pa, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this.
Right.
But when they do it, when they start to cook the cake, it's not that easy, you see.
Mm,
And the cake sometimes, do trial and error. So that's
mm,
why when I have enough experience in business coaching, 5 years there, I'm creating this new venture. Is this entrepreneur? It's helping people where we help do it for you,
mm.
so
Wow.
you don't have to worry. We are the tailor of system. We are the tailor of everything else.
Yeah. So
The
basically,
service.
first you do is analyze what's happening, and
Yeah,
then create something tailor made for whatever the analysis was in the beginning.
yeah,
And then helping, of course, the I guess business owner or whoever their manager is, or if they have directors, and then helping them to through coaching, through advising, through trainings like
yeah.
that.
Not
Wow.
not yeah. So the first step is coaching to change the mindset of
Right.
the leader and the mindset of the team.
Right.
And then the next step is creating the system.
Mm,
So like just that's why I call this gamification system. It's a gaming system.
mm.
Because if we create SOP, 100 pages of SOP, and you
No one
pay,
reads it.
no one reads it, no one's using it. Even you have do flow chart, flow chart. You put
Right.
it on the. I had this in 2017, so I put flow chart and put it on the wall, and people are still not following it. I say, why don't you follow it? It's on the wall. Oh, I didn't see it.
Right.
So we are creating this. I found this frameworks from coaching and practicing it into my company. One of them is called Florence.
Mm,
Florence. Flow, procedure, and checklist.
mm,
Florence. Um, it's a practical tools for people who want to make sure that the team is doing whatever he's doing. So I
right.
did it like this. I want to clone this to you,
Mm,
so we can use that tool. Um, and yeah, well, our clients is happy to be we help them with done for you, and
right.
they can reduce their time because most of them like this. So why I asked them, why are you keep in your business? Why
Mm,
why were you in your business all the time? and they said, because I'm worried,
Right.
right? Right? We
There's
all
that
worried.
right. There's maybe that sense of they want to have control,
Yeah, they want to have control. So
and
they
they
need to check.
right,
And it's correct. If you don't check, that's wrong. You need to check,
of
right? You need
course.
to control, you need to monitor, you need to do something because they're worried about something. So
Right.
we can make the worry into the system, so
Right.
they can be less worry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
And now with the pandemic and everything, do you see more reliance on technology to help them with systems?
Yeah. Yeah. Even our company, our business, we used to have lots of paperworks, like paper, like real paper. Sign here, we have to print and input again, everything else. Now the pandemic has has, what do you call that, forced us, yeah,
Mm.
has forced us to learn this new technology. Like, even we are on different part. Yeah, where are you now? In Jakarta?
No, I'm
You're
in
in Puncak.
Chiawi. Yeah.
Ciawi, right? Yeah,
Yes.
you're in Puncak and in Ciawi, and I'm in Jakarta. We can do podcasts here. So we try to systemize everything and centralize everything. So now, even
Mm.
in our company, we don't use tanda tangan basah, apa tuh namanya, handwritten signature anymore.
Right.
We
Everything is
si-
digital now.
yeah, we sign on Google Sheet.
Okay.
We just change the font into, like, curly stuff, into like look like a signature, and we can see who's writing on one cell.
Right.
On
Right.
Google Sheet, you can right click and see edit history, and you can see who's writing on it. So
Right.
that's enough. The password you are using to log into your account is your signature,
Right.
right? Everyone is doing that. So we stopped doing handwritten signature, and this, like, help us reduce lots of time in doing back and forth approvals and forms and processes.
Right. But is that something that a lot of businesses haven't adapted to, or are they already adapting to that?
Yeah, and some businesses are not yet ready for that. Some people
Mm.
even say, I'm saying that, we put all to Google. How about if Google
Crashes or
came down?
something. Right.
well, how about if Microsoft went down? How about if internet went down? How about if electricity went down? So you put everything on electricity now, right?
True.
So yeah, people are moving. So even ourselves in Google, our lives in Google, our lives in Facebook and Instagram now. So that's the world is, how the world is going to now.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true. And so you've seen, I guess more businesses have to adapt to that, right? And
Yeah.
if they don't, basically they fall behind.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't change, the change if you don't change, you will not be successful. So,
Right.
because the only thing that never change is change itself. If you ever heard that.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
The only thing that's always the same is change.
Yeah. That's better. It's always the same as change.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, Joshua, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and we're running a bit out of time right now. So I do have one more question. Let's say that your time has come to an end, and you've accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish, and um, everything that you've created, you have to take with you to a better place. And you can only leave behind two pearls of wisdom. What would these two pearls of wisdom be?
Okay. The first of wisdom is related to our last statement.
Mm.
I learned from one song of Michael Jackson.
Mm.
It's called Man in Mirror. So I'm looking at the man in the mirror,
Right.
and I'm trying to change his ways, something like that.
Mm.
So if you want to make a better world, take a look at yourself in the mirror and force him or her to change his ways. So
Mm.
start with you, start with, don't start with anyone else, start with
Right.
yourself, and force yourself to adapt to the ever-changing world and start making a change.
Wow,
Like
that's a
I used to have, I don't like apples and now I like apples.
that's a very good pearl of wisdom. I think it's really important because a lot of people want to change the world. They want to change everyone but themselves.
Yeah. 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 If you
And
change
what?
yourself, other people will start to change.
Very true. That's very true.
Mm.
And what about your second pearl of wisdom?
Okay, the second one is I have a slogan. It's
Mhm.
called "Live Your Busyness," and the busy, the Y have a dot on it, so it can, you can read busyness or business. Live your busyness and live your life.
Mm.
So my point is, we are living, we are not living to have to work to for our business is not everything. Our
Right.
business is a means for us to live our life.
Right.
So remember not to just focus on working and business, although work hard is very important. I still working hard at right now,
Mhm.
but your end goal should be living your life. So live your business and live your life.
Wow. And I think that's what you do, right? So you help people leave
Yeah,
their busyness and live their
yeah.
life. So that's really powerful, I think. So thank you very much, Joshua, for that.
Thank
And
you, thank you.
I do have one more question is for the listeners or audience out there that are interested in connecting with you, maybe engaging with you to help them leave their busyness and live their life, how can they contact you and get in touch with you?
Okay, I have my Instagram,
Mhm.
joshuatan.id, and that even the website there, joshuatan.id. Yep.
JoshuaTan.id.
We
Okay.
have the YouTube. You can see my videos in YouTube. Currently it's in Bahasa Indonesia, but I think we can do something in English, yeah, David. I didn't
Sure.
realize even this 1 hour, if you have 1 hour over here, this almost 1 hour, I'm not using any script, and I'm I cannot say anything. Like, yeah, I cannot believe that I can speak English this, this far with you.
I think you're being too modest there because your English is great, and you did say earlier you were introverted, but I don't see that anymore. I think
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
changed a lot,
I've changed. I've
and I
changed.
think that goes back to your first pearl of wisdom, which is look in the mirror and see what you can do to yourself first. Be the change you want to see. So
Yeah.
it's been a great pleasure. So people can get in touch with Joshua. Please, if you're interested in engaging with him, you can go to Instagram, joshuatan.id. That's also his website, joshuatan.id. And what's your YouTube channel? Sorry,
Same. Joshua Tan.
Joshua
Well, it's
Tan
just a bit different. Slash. No. What do you
dash
call the dash ID? Yeah,
dash
because they
ID
cannot
instead of
use
dot
dot.
ID.
Yeah.
And for all the viewers, we'll leave that in the comment box so you can access it through the link in the comments. And again, thank you very much, Mr. Joshua Tan. Thank you
Yes,
for your
thank you
time.
very much, David, for this opportunity and for me to talk in English for this 1 hour. And this can be the start of my future journey of talking in English in the webinars and seminars. We should
Well,
do it
we
together.
we we hope to see that
Yeah,
more of
yeah, yeah.
that, and it would be great to have you on and see how you do with
All right, all right.
that.
That's good. That's good.
Awesome.
Thank you very much
Thank
again, and
you.
everyone else. Keep keep moving, keep changing yourself, and live your life.
Absolutely. Yes. Everyone out there, be safe, be productive, and be positive. So thank you again, Joshua.
All right. Thank
Thank you,
you,
everyone who's
everyone.
listened. If you do have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section and we'll try to answer them. Perhaps if Joshua is generous enough to donate his time and come back on, we could address some of those questions. So
Yep.
thank you to all the viewers. Thank you again, Mr. Joshua Tan. Bye, everyone, for
Bye
now.
bye.
Bye
See you.
bye.